going to give it a few more minutes before we get this webinar started. We had a few more people sign up, so I figure I'll go ahead and give them a chance to join us. I tell her I'm on a webinar. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this started, and we'll go from there. I will be recording this webinar, and it will be placed up on YouTube probably within the next 24 hours. We'll also send you a link to that just in case you don't remember to go in there afterwards, and you can always review it or any of our other videos that are up on YouTube. Okay, so anyway, I apologize for that. So we're going to go into a new transaction. Okay, and so you will notice over to the left, this is where the item information would be listed. Over to the right is where you can enter in the customer's first and or last name, add in new customers, look up customers, that type of thing. I'm going to start off with just a basic sale. So I'm going to type in a SKU number, and it's going to look for that item. Okay, so there's more than one match to that. I'm going to choose the proper size and color that I want. So I'm going to go with this particular one right here and select the item. And you will notice that it puts that item on the receipt. Now, regarding this specific item, there are a few buttons down here that play into each individual item. So if I go to the details, that's going to show me the details about that one specific size, color of that item. Okay. Now, if I go into the item type, that's going to show me, is this a regular sale? Is this a return? Am I putting this on an order, a sales order? Okay. The discount, pretty self-explanatory there. These would be the different types of discounts that you can get. You can either do a flat dollar amount discount, you can do a % discount, or you can just change the price. I'm going to go ahead and do a % of 10% and then press enter. Okay. Now, just like version 8 and version 9, it does require when you give a line item discount, it is going to require that you choose a reason for that discount. And I'm just going to say it's because it's on sale. Okay. So now I see the new price, I see the discount amount as well as the discount %. Okay. Void, pretty self-explanatory. That would be if maybe the cashier had scanned the item in error. You know, it was sitting on the counter, they picked it up to scan it, and the customer says, nope, that's not mine. Or it could be that the customer changes their mind. They decided after all that they didn't want that item. You could void that item off. Now, the benefit of voiding versus removing. Removing will take the item off the screen. Voiding will leave the item on the screen but change the quantity and the price to 0. The benefit of that, obviously, is extra security. In simply removing the item, there is no record, no audit trail of that item ever being on this receipt. Now, if the customer happened to pay cash for this sale and said, oh, no, I don't need a receipt, they could, a dishonest cashier could easily come back into this screen and remove all of the items and slip that cash in their pocket. So voiding is a much more secure method of having them remove items because it doesn't remove it everywhere. It just removes it from the customer's view. Okay. Now, quantity, pretty self-explanatory as well. So I can go to quantity and type in whatever quantity I'm going to and press enter. It then changes my quantity and it does change my extended price. Okay. So if this is everything that they're going to buy, let's go over here to last name and let's put a customer on here. So I go into Smith. I actually want Michael Smith. So that's the customer I'm going to choose. And now at this point, now that I have the customer in there, just to point out a few things here, if I wanted to see his details, I could go to the details button for the customer. I'd see his email, his address. Maybe if I'm missing an email here, this would be a good time for me to go in and add it in. Same thing with addresses. You can remove the customer. You can add a new customer, all with any of these buttons up here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go down to the bottom of this side of the screen to the tender transaction, and I'm going to go ahead and tender this out. So when I go to the tender transaction, it shows the taken amount. Now, I have my system preferences for Prism set up that credit card is my default tender type. That is something that can be changed based on your needs. Nowadays, that's probably more common than any other tender type. So, but let's just say for argument's sake that they only want to put $50 on a credit card. So I would come over here and change this amount to $50. I'm going to choose my card. I'm not integrated with Cayenne or any other credit card processor, so I'm manually doing all of this, and I click on the Take button. So the computer knows I'm taking $50 for the payment of this sale. Okay? And it shows over here, there is my payment. Now here is my balance. Let me just move this over a little bit. So my balance is $37.45. I'm going to move this out of the way. There we go. Okay. So I still owe $37.45. They want to pay that in cash. They don't want to pay it on their credit card. So you'll notice in the lower left-hand corner, it says tender type. So I'm going to go ahead and choose tender type, and I'm going to choose cash as the option. Okay. So now it shows take cash of $37.45. Let's just say for argument's sake that the customer paid us $40 in cash, and that's how much we're going to take from them. Now, it shows the $40 in cash, but we need to tell the computer that we are giving this back in the form of cash. So over here on the left, it shows give cash. The give amount is $2.55. We do want that to be in cash, so we're going to go ahead and click on the give button. Okay, so the top half on the right-hand side shows all of the payments that have been made. The bottom half shows the different change options you might give them. If they were buying a gift card or a gift certificate, or maybe you were issuing store credit, those would be common things to see under the change side. Obviously, all of the different tenders that you take as a form of payment would show up under the payment side. Just depends on how they're paying for everything. Okay, so in the lower right-hand corner, you will see there is a print update button and an update only button, but this is also where your gift receipt button is. So if they want a gift receipt, I'm sorry about those pop-ups. If they want a gift receipt, you click on gift receipt and you would just choose the item that you want a gift receipt for. Just like the older versions, you do have the option of selecting to print a gift receipt for everything that they bought or to just print one item per receipt. So you would choose whichever way the customer wanted it. I'm going to go ahead and cancel because I honestly don't want a gift receipt. Okay, but I still need to update this transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and update only. And it shows me again, it just reminds me everything I did, and don't forget to give the customer their $2.55. Once I have made their change and given it back to the customer, that's typically when I know it's good to click OK. Okay, now I'm ready for the next transaction. Okay, so now you do have the ability to search for inventory. So let's say the tag has fallen off of the item. We don't have an item number or a barcode that we can enter in. So I'm going to go to the search option, okay, and I'm going to tell it what I wanted to search by. So if I click on this, you will see I can search for an item by any of these methods, okay? So a lot more than we had in version 8 or 9 in the sense that we never had the ability to look up by DCS, vendor name, or vendor code. So I'm going to go ahead and go by description 1, and I'm going to type in there jacket. Okay. Now over here, we can choose that it equals that. It contains that word, which is what I'm going to go for, and then I'm going to tell it to search. So by using the contains versus the equal would be that would be the only thing in the description 1, whereas if I say contains, I'm saying find me any item that contains that word. And you will see right here that it has pulled up everything that has the word jacket in it, even though it is not the first word or the only word. Okay, so I'm going to choose the one that I want, and then put a check mark by it. Where's my check mark? Okay, so okay. Okay, so let me, there we go. There's my check mark. That's where I wanted. Okay, I don't want the cream though. Now the nice thing is you can check more than one item. So I can check this item. Maybe I'm buying it in large cream. I just really like this jacket. Okay, maybe I want this jacket in black as well. So I've chosen 3 items. Now I'm going to add those items to my receipt. Okay, and you'll see that all 3 jackets show up on that receipt. So I don't have to fill in dock quantity. I just have to put a check mark next to them, and the computer understands that this is an item we're going to bring back. Now, because they are buying 3, maybe I'm going to give a discount off this last one. So let's give a 20% discount. Okay, and I'm going to do that because they're buying multiple quantities. So they're paying regular price for the first 2, 20% off the last one due to quantity discounting. Okay, now over here, if you wanted to search for a new, or if you wanted to enter in a new customer, you could click on the new button and enter in, let's just say, John Williams. Okay, and I'm going to come down here to email and just say JW. Okay, so there is his email address. Now the email type, you can mark whether or not that's a home address, a work address, or something other than that. So this is his personal email. We're going to go ahead and mark that as home. Same thing with phone. You'll notice that it does give you an option to mark what type of phone number it is. You obviously, at rush hour traffic or something like that, you may not want to call the cell phone because they may be driving. Same thing with address type. So you have a way of marking what address you're looking at. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this. All I'm going to enter in is his name and his email. So I go ahead and save that. That puts his name on the receipt. Now, I'd also like to point out this transaction details button. If I go to transaction details, this is where I can mark my POS flags. It's also where I can put in comments. Okay, something along those lines. Okay, I also can add in fees or shipping charges. Okay, including where do I want it to ship to. Now I can look it up the customer or here, or I can, there we go. Okay, this is where I can put in the shipping amount, totals. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel out of here. I don't want to deal with that. I can choose multiple associates. I can set up a price level for them. Maybe he's not paying the retail price. Maybe he's paying the member price. Okay. I can also give a discount to the entire receipt this way. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, okay, I didn't change anything, so it's not going to alter anything. Now that I am ready to tender this out, I will tender transaction. And I am going to take $100 on a Visa. And I take that. Then I'm going to take the $104.09 and put that on a MasterCard. And I take that. Now at this point, there is no change to worry about. So you will notice the print and the update only are now available because there's nothing we have to clarify for the computer program. Okay? Now if at this point they decide that they don't want to charge on their MasterCard, you could void this right now, and it would void off the MasterCard and put the amount they still owe you in the take amount. I'm going to change my tender type, and I'm going to change it to a check. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and enter in a check number, and then click on take. And again, now that everything is paid for, I can go ahead and print update or update only. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put, let's go ahead and put Williams on there again, and I'm going to go with John Williams. Okay, that's the customer I'm going to put on there. Now let's just say for argument's sake that he decided to return one of those jackets that he just bought. So again, I'm going to tell it what I want to filter by. Okay, it's already on description 1 since that was what I had it at the last time. And I want it to contain, not equal, and now go and search that for me. Okay, so I'm going to return that large black jacket. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the quantity. Actually, I'm going to go to the item type and make it a return. Okay. Now I'm going to say yes here because I do want it to look for the original document. And this is where I would scan in or enter the receipt number that they brought as proof that they bought it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and return to the document. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn this into a return with no reference. Okay, so the system knows that this is a return and that we owe the customer money. So we have the customer on there. We're going to go to tender transaction. Now, this particular customer does not have, let's say he does not have the credit card that he used to originally charge it. So I may change my tender type to give him store credit. So I changed this to say give store credit. This is the amount I'm going to give him. I have the right customer on there. I'm going to go ahead and give him that store credit. Okay, and again, it shows up in the change portion of the tender window. Now that that is in there, I can update only. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put him back on the receipt so you can see how it looks when they actually use their store credit. So I'm going to come on down to his name. I'm going to come over here and just enter in an item. Okay, and let's say that he goes for the, let me see if I can find the large. Okay, so let's go with this one. Okay, this is what he'd like to buy instead. So I'm going to select the item. Now you could do this all on one transaction if they were doing an exchange right there, but I wanted you to see how the store credit would work. That's everything that he wants to buy. Notice that it does show me right here that he has a store credit of $72.89. Well, his total is only $72.89, so this is going to be a complete wash. We're going to take care of his store credit in one fell swoop, and he's not going to have to spend any money out of pocket. So I'm going to go to the tender transaction, and I am going to use the store credit. That's what this is asking. I say yes. So we're going to take the store credit. You'll notice that it shows the store credit over there, and there is no more money that is owed. It's a straight, even exchange. So at this point, I would go ahead and update only. Okay. So a lot of Prism is very similar to what you might be used to in version 8 or version 9. A lot of the terminology is the same. How you move around is a little bit different. Now, down along the bottom here, I do want to point out some different tabs. So I can put an item on the receipt. Okay, just grab one. Okay, and I can put this on hold to ring up later. I can also cancel this. I can go to options and look up a customer if I want to. Let me go ahead and cancel this. Let's tender this out just as is, no customer. We're going to take a credit card, and we're going to update only. That's what the majority of your sales typically are. You scan the items, you take their money, you print them a receipt, and they walk out the door. So if I want to click on new is already in there. So now to get out of this screen, this Retail Pro button down here in the lower right-hand corner will bring me back to where I can go to the main point of sale screen. Now this main point of sale screen, I can look up transactions. Okay. If I know what date it was created on, let's just say we're going to go create a date, and I'm going to say October 1st, and I'm just going to tell it to search. So these are all of the receipts that we've rang up today. Okay, all but the last one had a customer name on there. So now I can highlight one. Let's just highlight this one. Okay, and now I can view that transaction. So it brings me right to that transaction that I need. I look at what I need to look at. Maybe I need to edit it. Maybe I want to copy it. Or maybe I just wanted to take a look at something and I'm ready to go back into a new receipt. I click on this new button. It brings me up into a new receipt. So there are lots. These buttons down here along the bottom relate to various things that you can get in and out of. These buttons up here, you can be in the point of sale screen and actually turn everything that you just scanned into a sales order. And that's what this button right here would do. Okay? If they're doing a return, a straight return, I can turn the entire transaction into a return transaction. So sale and return have always been receipt types. Order, however, is not available as a type when you're in the point of sale screen on any other version. So they really made Prism, they listened to what everyone said they hated, they're having to go into a sales order screen and then back into the receipt and making two transactions. So they did listen to that, and they did try to write that into the program. Okay, so now that is Prism point of sale, and like I said, this can be set up to where it is on a little tiny iPad mini type thing or iPod, okay? But where is my, so let me close that. No, okay, now. So now I want to get up. No, that's not it. I'm sorry, I thought I had the window open, ready to go.
She's lost her audio.
Roberta, can you find Jeff for me real quick? I thought I saw him. He was over by Carol. That air server shut down. Technical difficulties done. So this is main home screen of the iPad mini that I'm using. And so I'm going to go ahead and open up the mobile point of sale. Okay, and that brings me up into the mobile point of sale. Now, what I'm seeing here is a list of all of the sales that I've done for the day. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll notice there is a new button. So I go ahead and touch on new. I have a new blank receipt in front of me. Now, down along the bottom, you will notice this, when I touch the first three little icons down here, let me go back. Oops, too far. Okay, so I'm going to go back. And if you notice down here, this right here, if I touch on that, it brings up receipt details. So I'm going to go back. Okay. This would be how you'd scan the barcode. I'm going to come to this envelope because I don't have any barcodes to scan. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and search the inventory. And let's go ahead, we're going to go with this loafer right here. Okay, normally you would go up to that search bar up along the top. Let's just say we're going to take them in a size 7 blue. Okay, and this is the one I'm going to select. Okay, so it puts that item on the receipt. Now, obviously, if I went to this barcode icon down here in the corner, I would take a picture with my iPad and we would be good. Okay, but I don't have any barcodes to scan. So once everything has been scanned or searched to put on the receipt, you're going to come up here to the upper right-hand corner to the checkout. So I go to checkout, and you'll notice down along the bottom, I have a little cash button, I have a credit card button, and I have a park button. Now, these two are pretty self-explanatory. If the customer is paying in cash, you would use the cash button. If they were paying with a credit card, you would swipe the credit card. Know that the iPad and the iPod actually sit down in a sled, and that sled has a credit card swipe on it. So if you decide to go with the mobile point of sale, that's actually, you can provide the iPod or iPad, we provide you with the sled. Okay? This last one, this park, this is the one that I'm going to use. Actually, I'm going to use the cash, but that park would allow you to, say you have a really long line at Christmas time, you could scan all the items they're buying and then choose to park their sale on the computer that the iPod or iPad has been connected to. So when you set this up, one of the setting things that the tech will help you with is knowing what workstation of your desktops, of your point of sale computers, this one is connected to. And it can be connected to Prism. Prism can show on the screen just as easily as this can, but this mobile point of sale works with version 9 as is. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the cash option. Okay, it shows me the amount due. Now let's just say for argument's sake they're only going to put $100 in cash. So I would change the amount and click OK, and it would show that they've paid $100 in cash. I'm then going to choose the credit card option, and I'm going to say OK to that, and the remainder is going to go on their we're going to go to the training iPod, so it doesn't expect. Okay. It thinks I want to, let's just do manual. There we go. We're going to go back. I knew there was a reason I don't usually use the credit card button. So let's go ahead and do cash for the remaining amount. Okay, so for $216 and done. Okay, so at this point, you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, right up here, there is a finish button. You're going to go to finish. Okay, now you have the option to email the receipt and also to select a customer at this time. Now, if you select a customer that has an email address, okay, I'm going to go with this customer right here. Okay, and that's the one I want to select. Okay, so you'll notice if you select a customer that you already have the email address for, it will fill in the email address for you, and then you just simply touch this email receipt, and it will email the receipt to the customer. Okay, if you don't want to email the receipt, press the next button in the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to go ahead and continue anyway. Okay. So, click next. Well, next. Email is continue anyway. Say yes. I chose the wrong one. Now you can default the printer that you want this to go to. I don't believe that I have any printer connected to this. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. And normally I would click on print receipt. I'm going to go ahead and press done. Okay, so you can choose to email the receipt or to print it. It's entirely up to you. You'll notice that brings you back to your list of receipts. You go to the new button. You're ready for your next sale. Okay, so I'll go to the little envelope, choose an item. That's the one I want, so I'm going to select it. Okay, go back to the item again. So you can really see the benefit of having a scanner connected to this, or scanning barcodes. Okay, now that's everything that they want to buy. Now you'll notice down here at the very bottom, this little customer icon. It's letting me know at this point I don't have a customer on here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and select this customer. Okay, and now I'm ready for checkout. Okay, they're going to pay with cash because I know I can't do it with a credit card. Everything is paid for. I'm now ready to finish it, so I go to the upper right-hand corner. This time, I don't have an email address, even though I have a customer on there. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the email address. And this just happens to be me. Okay, and then go ahead and email the receipt. Okay, I'm going to update the customer's email address in their file, and this does pull from your Retail Pro customer database. Okay, it will also update your Retail Pro customer database. Okay, now I'm all done, so I'm going to press the done button. I'm back down where I was. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and go to new. And I'm going to put some items on there. Okay. And because I keep picking things that are styles, it takes me through a few screens to find the right one. Okay. Now, if I go down here to the if I come up here to the checkout, I can, let's go ahead and choose, okay. So that last park one could be they're using a check, they're using charge, store credit, or this is also where I can send it as a held receipt. Let's just say they're going to write a check for it. Okay, so there's the check. I'm going to enter in the check number. Okay, and then hit the next button. And then at this point, I am done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish. I'm not going to email, and I'm all done. Okay, so that is how the mobile point of sale works. We are more than happy to give you a one-on-one demonstration. It's very powerful, very, very handy, especially during the holidays. So now at this point, I'm going to go ahead to the upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to log out. Okay, and now I'm ready to log back in again. Okay, if I'm done for the day, I'm just simply going to take myself back to the home screen, and I'm now logged out of the mobile point of sale. Know that there is also a mobile inventory that you can also use, but with the iPad and iPod, only the mobile point of sale is available. Okay, so any questions about anything that I've gone over? And again, I do apologize for the technical difficulties. Okay, well, if there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and let you folks get back to work. And I want to thank you for joining me for the webinar today and putting up with my difficulties. But you are welcome to join any webinar you'd like. Again, it has been recorded for good or for bad. It's been recorded. Know that there are also other recordings already up on our YouTube channel if you'd like to see a cleaner, smoother demonstration of the mobile point of sale. But again, you're welcome to join us for any and all webinars. So for now, goodbye and have a great evening. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.